So I guess I'll start right here. What was one of your I guess biggest problems you had with Fresh and Fit when you were on their show? What was one of the biggest problems you had with something that they said? I guess we'll start right there.
I think their entire model of breaking down male-female interactions is like really wrong. I think it's way too adversarial. I think that they're completely out of touch with what normal women are like. And I think that the way that they analyze the world and they tell young men to act, I think creates so much more of the world that they hate. Like they're setting everybody up for failure or to become people that they wouldn't like.
All right, explain what you mean when you say it's adversarial. Because I know some men would view it. Some men would view it that way. Some men would view it that way, or because a lot of men are lost out there. A lot of men are lost out there dealing with women. They don't know what they're doing. I mean, like they quoted the stats about the 30% of men being incels or not having any sex in the last last year or something like that. So clearly there's a breakdown with men in dealing with modern women. And I think your approach, and you could clarify this, your approach is that, they need to clean up yourself and be a little nicer or whatever. But it seems as if you don't look at it as much in this situation where women have changed, like y'all talked about.
Exactly. Fresh and Fit are insane. They are saying what their audience wants to hear. They are incels. I don't know why anybody listens to them. The modern woman thing is getting on my nerves. They need to let that go. But yeah, a lot of women are in the workforce, have to be providing for themselves. A lot of women have learned from their mothers and grandmothers and just seen what women had to go through, and they don't want to repeat patterns. So with the birth rates being low, very low, yeah, a lot of these men are lonely and they cannot get a partner because they are not appealing as a partner to certain women, and there's certain women that they are trying to talk to and they are not on these women's level. And this is why they focus so much on money, because that's the only hope that they have. But if you are a decent person, if you're not out here trying to use the Kevin Samuels model, then you should do well. A lot of people have an issue being themselves and they can't present who they are, and they're scared they'll be judged. So you put on this persona, which is going to lead you down the very road that you don't want to go down. So yeah, I'm not going to review this whole thing because it's a lot of babble, but I'll just pick little points out of it.
They can work and make their own money. A guy making enough money to basically put a roof over her head, that's not enough. He has to be able to do more. He has to be able to present more. And if this regular woman who would get with a regular guy who could, put a roof over her head and that was enough, is basically saying this regular guy has to go above and beyond regular just to get with a regular chick. So that,
well, no,
that,
I mean,
that
like,
does,
I think,
that,
yeah.
okay,
So, I mean, I agree with you that like men have to do more now, but like what they were doing before was like an embarrassingly bare minimum. Like you have to work a job and that was it. And now you have to actually be a good partner. And I think that men need to spend more time like figuring out what it means to be a good partner in a relationship. I think it's a little bit. Yeah, go ahead.
Obviously, you understand there still was some relationship dynamics. I mean, yes, working a job and being able to provide, yes, that was the basic standard. Being able to protect and provide, that got the man in the door. But I think that's some propaganda to think that the guy was beating her over the head with a club just because I can provide and take care of you. So you're going to get beat over here with a club. No, there was definitely some relationship dynamics and understanding and conversations. I mean, women. I don't buy the idea that women were just as downtrodden and beaten up by these men who they needed. I think it's more so a situation that when women needed men, families worked out. Soon as women didn't need men, now all of a sudden families don't work out. To try to circle that back and try to pin that on men for not being nicer or not doing more or not going above and beyond to be an above average man for this average chick that she should be happy with him. You're telling men basically get out there, tap dance in a top hat and be excellent for these chicks. You know, it's
Yeah,
like,
what you're saying is
I don't
be
get it.
excellent or pull up or like go above and beyond. I would view as like bare standards for being a decent human being. If your only way of getting a girl ever was
But
like relying on the fact that she
real
couldn't
quick.
work, that means you're a weak man. That means you just don't
Yeah, I know.
offer anything.
You
You're
have to-
nothing. Like you're just a body that shows up at a factory, puts something together, and then goes home and thinks that that's enough to like land you some sort of relationship. And in the past it was, but I think it's a little bit sad that our standards would revert to that, and that we think it should go back to that. Like, oh God, like this woman can work, you know, a job, and now the fact that my paycheck isn't enough to win me a wife means that I'm completely and totally lost and hopeless. I think it's time to like step up and like be an actual decent person. Like figure out how to be emotionally available in a relationship. Figure out how to be a good partner. Figure out how to make a woman date you, other than the fact that like society says she's not allowed to work a job and get a paycheck.
This is the issue. They feel like they make the money, so you have to be a doormat or you have to bend the knee, and they are some type of king. It's weird behavior, because women are human beings. Women have different personalities, and the idea swirling around in their mind is like women need to be grateful that they are getting the attention of men. It's weird. You don't have to have personality. You don't have to keep her interest. She just needs to be glad that you are showing some type of interest and wants to give her some D. That's basically sums it up, and that's the way it looks through my point of view of this. Women are saying, well, I can make my own money, so what else do you bring to the table? They always talk about the 40s, 50s, and 60s because of what was really going on, and in my family there are so many stories about how women were abused. I'm talking domestic violence. I'm talking about ex-violence. And yes, these women had nowhere to go. If they left their husband, what would they have? Absolutely nothing. If these women left their husbands, what would they have? They would be left destitute. And if you remember me saying the word destitute in other videos, it's because that's why welfare was formed. And it was formed for white women because they were left destitute by their husbands. Even though they owned property or had money, it was under the control of their husbands. And if their husband wanted to get a little 14, 13-year-old girl and to replace her probably at the age of 30, yeah, he would keep certain assets and money, and he would leave her and the children destitute. And that's the kind of control that they want right now. It's very insidious. It's very evil. It's very despicable. They want control over women. They don't want cooperation. They don't want harmony. They don't want peace. They want absolute and total control. It's giving slave master.
I'm giving you the thumbs up. You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
So when women express emotions as children, it tends to be through things like crying or complaining, and that's okay. So they're usually taught to process those emotions healthier, right? I think men tend to carry more of this like up baggage, repression, and shit with them through life. I think this is why men comprise like 80% of suicides versus women, right? I think it's because men have a lot of emotional problems that they can't process. When you say women are more emotionally volatile, I hear this claim over and over and over again. Women are more emotional. Women are emotional. Why? Oh, because they cry more. For some reason, anger is never viewed as like an actual emotion by any of the red pill community. And when we say women are more emotionally volatile, do they cry more?
It is.
Yeah, sure. But like guys will bump into each other at the club, scuff their shoes, and then somebody's dead like 5 seconds later, right? Like how many, like when you're hearing about things like domestic violence, like who's causing more of the damage? It's men. When you're looking at things like violent crime, like 98% are men, right? So when we talk about like who's more emotional, like yeah, women might be more sad or they cry or they do things, you know, some of the times. But I would argue that that sort of emotional expression is way healthier than guys that kill themselves over stupid shit.
Men feel like they are logical. There's this thing going around, women are emotional, men are logical, when personally it's the other way around. Because you can see by the femicide rates, they get into their emotions, someone ends up not alive anymore. And their anger, they don't understand that is an emotion, and it's dangerous to everyone around them, even other men. These are talking points that we have been talking about in the community, and I find it very interesting that when someone of a different hue says it, that it holds more weight. But anyway.
Anger is a type of emotion. So if I look at like homicide rates, like broadly speaking, I can see that things like men commit way more violent crime than women, right? It's like good dating advice if this was like the 1920s, but like people have changed, times have changed, standards have changed. Even that appeal to nature.
So men should bend to how women have changed.
Women have, yeah, women have changed dramatically.
Of course, you're going to hear some things that she's saying. Of course, absolutely, 100%. Of course, you're going to have a relationship. You're going to have a relationship. You're going to talk. You're going to communicate. But the fact of the matter is that if you build yourself up and you're a man that she respects, and sometimes there's a such thing as a man who just has a certain type of mentality that she could respect, whether it's his success or whether it's just his mentality, how he moves, or just how she feels about him. The fact of the matter is that woman looking up to that man and following the lead of that man, regardless of whatever feminist propaganda or whatever is going on, that is valuable to relationships functioning, because if she can't follow the lead of that man, with a lot of them, they tend to lose respect. And when they lose respect, that's where a lot of the arguments and the combativeness comes from.
I wanted to pause him there because that is not where the attitude and combativeness comes from. It has to do with a woman not feeling secure. It has nothing to do with leadership. I wish they would stop talking about, I want to lead, I want to lead. Nobody's going to let you lead them into a damn barn fire. It's not going to happen. It could be money issues, which breeds instability. It can be no emotional connection, meaning you need to be emotionally available. It could be not good sex because you don't want to hear about what she needs and maybe work on that. It could be your attitude. It could be the way you handle her as a woman. It could be you doing disrespectful and embarrassing things. It could be all of that. Or it could be she's just not interested in you. That happens. But saying that women need to go back to not having enough money to run away from a man that they don't want to be with because of red flags, pink flags, and of various things that could be wrong, it seems like he agrees with abuse. I wonder if he would tell his daughter that if she was experiencing some not so pleasant things in her relationship.
That's where relationships fall apart. If it's clearly defined and understood who's the leader, and one person is leading and one person is following, that reduces arguments, that reduces conflict, that reduces everything bad that can happen in a relationship. Not saying things can't happen badly, but if a guy is basically, trying to acquiesce to the woman, then she's gonna, in most cases, look at this as a controllable man who she could bend to her will. And then when that happens, it just increases the probability that that woman is not going to have the full respect of that man.
Okay, since he want to say men should be the leader and he believes in that, I could have swore that husbands are supposed to submit to their wives and wives submit to husbands. But first we have to get to that husband and wife stage, because right now it's just hooking up and side chicks, main chicks, and everything. I don't see anyone rushing to the altars.
That woman is not going to have the full respect of that man. And I think that's where a lot of guys run into a lot of problems. That's how a lot of guys ended up in this space, because they couldn't understand or make sense of why they were ending up in situations where they thought they were doing everything right, but this woman still was getting out of pocket with them, was still being disrespectful. And that's so men learn things. And AM, I saw you down there, Angry Man. If you want to, I wouldn't open it. I see it's a lot of people in the back. I wasn't opening it up for nobody. But if Angry Man want to come up and get a piece of this, Angry Man, you got it.
Yeah, I am very, very familiar with Angry Man. Like I said, I've been on here since '07. And yeah, I did run across his dusty ass platform. And I remember commenting in the comment section at the time he was talking about, and he still to this day talks about it, talking about welfare and black women receiving welfare and black women grace line as well, food stamps, Medicaid, and possibly TANF benefits. He has an issue with child support, as if anybody made him pull his member out and make these children, where he would have to pay child support. Nobody made him do that. I believe he did that willingly, or he could have had a case for assault. So yeah, he's been on here a long time. I basically said that I literally work in that field, and I was saying him and his cohorts do not know what they're talking about, because they've never worked in it and they don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and the statistics are completely wrong. So he was spewing all this rhetoric out there, not knowing what the hell he's talking about. The majority of people who have never worked within that field, they know nothing about it. But yeah, Angry Man is old YouTube dust.
Well, here, listen. I should have got scheduled. If you want to have another more in-depth conversation on this tomorrow, we can. I mean, like, obviously, I disagree with every single thing you said. I think all of your advice is like good dating advice if this was like the 1920s. But like, people have changed, times have changed, standards have changed. Even that appeal to nature.
So men should bend to how women have changed.
Women have, yeah, women have changed dramatically. So why can't men change?
Women have changed.
Are men the only ones that can't evolve? Women they work jobs, they do better in school, they are leading successful lives. Like, if women have been capable of doing all these things,
they burned a lot of bras in the streets in order to be able to do that. So you're saying it as if they like they graciously did something they didn't want to do. No, they got what they fought for.
Yeah, of course. And they fought to change it. They fought to do all these things. That's great. So if you want to be like a man that could get a woman, you have to follow suit. You can't just sit here and cry that like women are working now and now it's too hard and blah, blah, blah. I think men can catch up too. I think men can do just fine. There just has to be people out here that respect women the way that women, at least at the very least, respect themselves, right? And I think that all of these people preaching like one-sided open relationships and that women just like they can't change and nature is nature, blah, 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 despite the fact that women today are way different than they were 100 years ago, whereas men seem to be stuck in the past. I don't know. I don't think that's a successful.
All right. Real quick. One thing I gotta say, I don't argue from the perspective that men can't get women. You said you had to go, but
man, what is you waiting
here
for?
You go. You right here. I got you.
Let this dude run away. Soon as you said my name, he talking about he gotta go.
I do not believe that Destiny was running away because of Angry Man was coming up. I think that he thought he was going to bring him up so he could go ahead and drop down and do whatever he had to do. That's how I saw it. But you see, he comes in here screaming and yelling, and he does that to kind of throw you off, to kind of maybe jar you a little bit so he can win some debate in his head. But this is the foolery. He has been doing this forever, and he is too old to be doing this still.
Nah, don't go nowhere.
Okay.
Don't go nowhere. Stay your ass right here. First of all, Bernard, I don't know what you doing up here, bruh. To go back to what you said, men rarely act like children. Women almost always act like children. Men built this world and continue to maintain this world. If women took a day off today, if all women took a day off today, no one would give a shit. If all men took a day off today, the world would come to a crash and halt. What are you talking about, dude?
Are you screaming at me or him?
I'm screaming at you.
Okay, well, firstly, you came here acting like a child, saying men don't act like children, so I think that's very funny.
Okay, first of all, number one, hey, hold on,
I'm not able to respond to your whole statement. You're just going to sit here and scream the whole time? Okay, if that's what you want to do, go for it. I have an 11-year-old kid, so I'm used to somebody just screaming the whole time. Go for it. Yeah, what do you got?
First of all, dude, you're acting like a woman.
Oh, well,
don't tell me how to talk.
Gotcha.
Okay, just because a man raises his voice does not mean he's acting like a child. Do not do that shaming tactic crap with me.
I'm just making an observation. You can scream and whine all you want. That's fine. I'm all here for your crying, dude. I'm here for your emotional outlet, okay? I'll play the woman part, and you can treat me like your mom if that's what you want to do, dude.
Address what I'm saying.
That I'm acting like a woman? What do you want me to say? How am I supposed to address that?
Chill with the shaming tactics. Be a grown man and address my talking points.
Okay, I didn't hear any yet. What were your talking points? That if all men took the day off, the world would fall apart, and if women took the day off...
Would you like me to repeat it?
For a lot of the men that succeed, they can only do so because women are holding it down at home, right? Bullshit. If these guys... Bullshit. Who the fuck is taking care of the kids when men are out working?
There are plenty of successful multimillionaire men that do not have children and are not in relationships. Try again.
Okay, so do you think that the goal of man shouldn't be to have children?
The goal of men is to continue to make sure this world spins. Some men may choose to have children, others don't. Multimillionaire men can have surrogate women and have people watch their kids or send their kids to freaking boarding school. Try again.
Okay, I guess in the world where men are buying surrogate women and are sending their children to boarding school at age 0, and I suppose those are all being worked at by men as well. Bro, women. I don't know what you want me to say.
They're not buying women. They're not buying women. What are you talking about? Buying women.
What do you mean getting surrogate women and sending their children to boarding school?
Don't women get surrogate women?
Tell me what you mean when you say surrogate women. What are you talking about? Just somebody to watch it like a babysitter? Or are you talking about like a surrogate, like have a child for me?
What I am talking about, because you seem to have difficulty understanding. If a man is a multimillionaire and he doesn't want to deal with the issues of being in a relationship and he decides he wants to have children, he can get a surrogate mother to have a child for him, or he can adopt a kid, but he still has the ability to have someone watch that kid for him without being in a relationship.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat this because you're having trouble, probably because you're really emotional, understanding my question. So I'll ask one more time. What do you mean by surrogate woman? What do you mean by surrogate woman?
You're deflecting.
I'm not. I just asked you a question. You just deflected again.
Yes, you are. You don't know the definition of a surrogate mother? You don't know the definition of that?
All right, real quick, y'all, real quick.
Okay, this is a clashing of the cultures that's going on because Angry Man, it does sound stupid. You have to know what words mean, and to everyone who is educated and have common sense, we know that a surrogate is someone who is pregnant but does not keep the baby. So she may be having a baby for a couple. She may be having a baby for someone. And usually these surrogates are paid for that. And they are paid well for carrying life in their body and then handing the baby over to the parents. Sometimes the parents' egg and sperm will be placed together and then just baking in her oven. Right? So what's happening is Destiny understands what a surrogate is, and he's trying to get the information because the way it sounds coming out of Angry Man's mouth is it a surrogate or a babysitter? Or a surrogate and a babysitter? Because that's what it sounds like he's saying. But what Destiny is not understanding, in the Black community, it is all encompassing and all one thing. A man, if he wanted to have a child, he does not have to marry. He does not have to commit. He does not have to give this woman any type of label. Sometimes these things go on in other communities, but it is heavily in ours. A man doesn't have to do anything. He can maybe pay her a compliment. He could buy her a drink. He can, not really do much to end up with a child. Black women can get mad all they want to, do not have standards and expectations to have a man put their DNA in their womb. You can see by how many children are raised in a single parent home that there is no marriages, there's no commitment. It's a boyfriend, girlfriend, sneaky link, hookup type thing, and they just end up with children. So if a man, especially a black man, if he wants to have a child, but he doesn't want to pay for, he doesn't want to take care of, it's all on her, and he doesn't have to, money doesn't come up. He doesn't think of surrogate as something you have to pay for because it's free. A lot of black women's wombs are open for business. And the great thing about the business is it doesn't cost anything for a lot of them. Doesn't cost much for some. So that's where the clashing is coming from, because angry man is like, yeah, I can go out here, whisper a bunch of sweet nothings in some woman's ear in my community, and boom, 9 months later, I have a baby. No, I didn't have to marry her. No, I didn't have to pay anything. I don't even have to see the child. I can pay a little bit in child support if I have income coming in. That's it. If I don't want anything to do with it, I don't have to have anything to do with it. It's whatever. It lines up with what Corey Holcomb said, and I'll link that video in this one so you can hear the deplorable stuff that he said. If you don't love a woman, they really don't like the kid, they really don't like the woman, and they could give a damn if they survive or don't. So that's the disconnect that's happening with Angry Man and Destiny. Destiny is from a totally different community and handles surrogacy different, and basically Angry Man know that he can go get him a surrogate / baby mama who's gonna fight his other baby mamas for some attention.
Not real quick. You don't know you don't know the definition of a surrogate mother?
I'm trying to figure out how you're using it.
Destiny. Come on, man. Come on, man.
He made a simple point. You're saying that men need women, and he was just pointing out that there is a way for men to ultimately raise a kid without a woman.
Yeah, I'm just curious. When he says surrogate, is he just saying? I'm a
single dad. Men can raise kids without women. We can.
Well, no, but I mean, you're gonna have to get a babysitter or something, right?
I mean, yes.
Are those babysitters usually men or women?
It could be either or.
Okay, so
aren't you the new age guy that thinks everything is freaking, gender neutral and equal?
He's being disingenuous. We all know mostly teenage girls, women are babysitters.
Why couldn't it be a guy?
I haven't said anything about everything being gender neutral and equal, but that's cute if you think that. I'm just trying to figure out my
bad. I'm making an assumption. You're the one with the blue hair.
Fuck, there are so many things I could say right now, but it would power your shit. Like, I don't want to hear you crying about, I can't do it because the problem is if I say shit to you about the way that you look, I'm gonna get canceled by your entire crowd. So I'm just gonna peace. It's fun. Have fun.
Destiny, you leaving?
Is this a rage quit? Is the Destiny?
I can't say shit to this guy, dude. It's like beating up a fucking 9-year-old. This is like arguing with a retarded child. What the fuck am I supposed to say? This is a bait. This is a bait for me, right? I'm rolling around in the mud with a pig. I'm gonna walk out dirty. This guy's gonna go home the same as he always has been. So it's been fun. I enjoyed it.
Destiny, real quick. Yeah, hold on. AM, Destiny, let me ask you one more question.
Yeah.
Did you know about Angry Man before today?
No, I had no idea who this guy is.
Okay, because it seems like when I mentioned him that you start trying to leave, so I was thinking it maybe was some.
No, I've got a thing scheduled in about an hour and a half. There's another person I was supposed to talk to, so I didn't want to completely cut them out because I randomly jumped on your show. That person messaged me about 20 minutes ago. If you want to set up another convo, I'll be streaming tomorrow, same time. We can talk for as long as you want. We can scream at each other. Right. I can help you work through your emotions and everything. Angry Man.
You talk to Angry Man. You talk to Angry Man tomorrow.
Yeah, I start at 12 EST, and I'll be streaming for 4 hours.
All right,
we can chat. We can work through his femininity. He seems like he's got a lot of things he wants to talk about.
Hold on.
First of all,
let's get it set up. Wait a minute. Let's get it set up.
I'm not emotional. You know that, sir. Stop.
Let's get it set up. Let's not talk past the date. Okay, Destiny, you're gonna be on 12. PP 12 what? AM?
We can talk 1 p.m. tomorrow EST if you want. I'll be free for 3 hours.
1 p.m. tomorrow EST.
Yeah.
And so if Angry Man go live and he and y'all come merge it in together, and that's a date. Y'all can go at it tomorrow. That fair?
Yeah, sounds good
you
to me.
with that, Destiny?
Yep.
You with that, AM?
It is what it is.
All right. Well, we got a date for tomorrow. I didn't want it to seem like you just ran because Angry Man showed up. I think it's only right you set up a date for tomorrow, so it don't look like
I'm
you
doing
ran.
this out of the charity of my good heart. I don't have an obligation to talk to anybody, but I'll talk to him. That sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. I understand that.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's all right. I'm all about giving back to communities and everything, so I'm here to do charity just for you, Angry Man. That's what I'm here for, okay? That's what I'm here, dude. It's all good, man.
A lot of that racist liberal came out right there. All right, anyway.
No, that was the blue hair liberal. Have fun. I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay.
That little back and forth was hilarious. But yeah, that was interesting. And it's just funny that Angry Man popped up. I haven't seen this guy in years, and he is still on the same thing that he was years back. It's ridiculous, but I'll go ahead and leave it right here. I'll be reviewing part 2, but drop a comment, let me know what you think, like the video, and I will see you in the next one.
I can't. When they go in an appearance, there's like 52 million, like 2009 insults that pop in my head, and I can't say anything. I feel like I got my arms tied behind my back, and I can't. It's so hard. Holy shit. Because like these guys can go in on my sexuality, they can go into my blue hair, they can go into my lifestyle, they can go into like anything. And if there's like every insult that I could possibly do towards them that's stereotyping is gonna be like in time to cancel Destiny. I don't even know if I should with these people, or if I should have a rule where like I can't talk to I just can't talk to black red pill people, because it's like there's like 52 different ways that I could my entire life up if I'm not careful. Holy shit. Destiny, why is racism your only comeback? Why is calling me a switch hitter making fun of my blue hair or making fun of my wife? Why are those the only comebacks? What do you mean? It's not bro, my racism can be a lot more creative than phobia or cuck jokes, okay? I got a lot of creative racist insults I can make, but I'm not allowed to say any of that shit, whereas they can go like super hard, super personal, super appearance based. I can't say anything, dude. Like, and it's oh god. Oh shit. Black online debaters are like the new trans people. My hands are tied behind my back. I can't insult their appearance. I can't insult their lifestyles. I can't insult any data about them. It actually is the same fucking shit. Holy shit. I just figured this out. Fuck me, dude. Ugh.